You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We are live, and we are here on the Pace Radio Network's YouTube channel, as well as on Facebook, and we're podcasted afterwards at paceradio.net. Good evening, Tamara. How are you?
Exhausted.
Exhausted. I know how you feel. Yeah. And so does Gail. She's behind us there. You can see her behind me there. She's exhausted too. Yeah, she waves.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, new place, no studio. So hey, I'm in my kitchen right now. So.
Well, that's nice though. So explain to everybody what you've done, because you really haven't said what you were up to. I know what you were up to, but I think
I haven't really said.
Yeah. This has been kind of on the DL. So why don't you explain to everybody?
We've moved. We lived in Marmara for 4.5 years, and we've decided that to move out of Marmara. We've moved to Havelock, which is a town next to Marmara, about 16 kilometers to the west, and we've had an opportunity to move into a granny suite at our daughter's place, and we're living out in the country. So here we are here out in the country. We're in the 2-bedroom place. It's a little bit smaller space than what we had at the at our house, but there's a lot more room, and there's 44 acres and ponds and swamps and trails and stuff like that, where we can get out and take the dog for a walk and not worry about having a leash or anything like that, and she can have a good time as well.
Yeah, I bet she's loving that, right?
Oh yeah, and we've got 2 cats, and cats can always be a bit of a concern when you move, because you've heard the stories. The cats, you move, the cats left, and all of a sudden they show up at your old place, right?
Yeah, right, because they're pretty territorial, and they like to be in their own spots. But if you keep them in the house, usually for a couple of days a week, so they know that you're there. I've never had any of mine take off.
Yeah, we held them in the house for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's
in this situation. This is first time, obviously they've been out in the country. It's a whole new environment for them. Just even the predators. In town.
The hawks or the coyotes,
fishers, whatever.
Yeah, weasel. Oh yeah, because that's kind of the way. Well, we did the opposite, right? We came in off 24,000 acres in Coronation.
24,000 acres.
24,000 acres. We were living on 4.5 sections, right? So it was a huge cattle ranch.
I guess
we were just renting, but John and Deanne had 200 head of cattle out there all summer long. So we had cattle out there all summer long too. We lived out there. But it was four sections. 24,000 acres, and that's what we came from there into town. But that's what But when we moved there, we came from Tabor, like from Lethbridge, from being in the city to that farm, right? And
right.
The dogs never went out after dark because of the hawks, because of the owls.
Oh yeah, especially when you got little dogs.
Even the big dog, I didn't let Tika out at night either. We just didn't want her getting into any altercations with the koi dog they had out there too, because in Alberta, central Alberta, they've had border collies breed with coyotes. So sometimes you'll get this dog come out to you, and you think it's a dog, and it's actually a wild half-breed coyote, and they call them koi dogs. So so you don't ever, unless you've got great big Pyrenees or the big cattle dogs, and you have 4 or 5 of them, you don't ever leave a single dog out in the country.
Oh really? Yeah.
Find themselves, because coyotes pack too, right? So you'll have a coyote lead them out, but then they're leading them out to about 6 or 8 across
Yeah, exactly,
the distance, right?
exactly.
So you got one single dog, that dog would never survive the pack. So
Yeah,
it's the same when you've got farm dogs, you have to have a pack. So even John and Deanne like would have like 6 or 8 Australian shepherds and a couple
shepherds.
Pyrenees and a bunch of,
That way,
really
there's
cattle, right? Yeah.
yeah, that way there's many of them. Not they're just not by themselves.
Pack,
Yeah, so
right? So
far
that
with
they can use defend themselves, right? Because then if there's
yeah,
one single coyote, they can take that coyote on. But if there's 8 of them too, then there's 8 dogs or 6 dogs.
yeah. Then you got a big dog gang fight going on out there.
It
The-
happens.
Yeah. So far with Tessa, she's been good. She's just timid. So when we go out and walk, it's usually before dark. And then here off of the suite, there's a big deck, and there's also a dog run with the
Nice.
fenced in area.
Yeah.
It needs a little bit of maintenance because it's been a while since the dog used it, but it gives us a spot where she can go out and go to the bathroom, or even the cats.
Yeah.
For that, if it gives them a spot where they can go out as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they are going off the deck, and they're going. I know Garfield the other day was out checking out the barn here beside us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Barns. Yeah. I've never lived in the country.
No, you'll love it.
No,
Except for
never.
it depends on your road maintenance and how far it is to the closest store, though. Like that's another thing, right?
Yeah,
Winter,
7 kilometers. 7 kilometers into town.
that's not too bad.
No, that's right. It's not too bad. And Havelock, it's got some advantages and some disadvantages over Marmor. I'd say Marmor probably had a nicer downtown. Havelock's downtown is sort of been forgotten. It looks that way because it's just one street north of Highway 7, and a lot of the streets have gone to Highway 7. So it's almost as if that's become the downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And but here we've got banks. We don't have a bank in Marmor. We got a bank here. Yeah. You know what else we got here in Havelock?
A cannabis store?
2 of them. 2
Oh!
cannabis stores.
It doesn't have a downtown, but it's got cannabis stores.
It's got 2 cannabis stores. Yeah. Where Marmor is known for its iron ore, and its big, the big hole, which is the big mine, which has been filling up for years, and it's getting really full. And then part of Marmor Lake is also the little hamlet, I guess, of Deloro. If you're in Ontario, and just Google Deloro, and you'll see that there's problems over there because of arsenic from the gold mine.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. The Ontario government's been spending years cleaning it up, and they're going to spend even more now, another 40, 50 years easy, cleaning it up. The residents over there were all on municipal water. They have a municipal water system over there, so that way they don't have to, for water-wise, eh?
Yeah.
But over here, Havelock is known for 2 things: trains, because we have like a switching station here in Havelock. It might even be closer to almost the end of the line for that section of track. It's a line that I used to travel at one time when I was 18. I used to get on the train in Toronto and then come up here because I was working in Toronto all week, and then come home on the weekends to be with my son and my wife at the time, and travel back and forth on the train. So it was always, for me, it was great. And then they canceled it. And then other things have happened and so on and so forth. So, but the train yard is still there. Today, Tessa and I were out walking the town over there, and we got the train went across the tracks and had the horn going, and dogs going, "Ooh, what's that?" She hadn't heard that before. So
Right?
yeah. It's been a while since really, yeah. Most of the train
Basically
tracks over around here are all closed. The tracks have been pulled up, and the railroad ties are gone as well. And the
wow.
train, a lot of tracks. And then the other thing that this town is famous for, and that's the Havelock Country Jamboree. And it's one of the largest ones, if not the largest one, probably in Canada.
Yeah. The country jamboree. It is. Yeah.
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 Yeah, yeah. Obviously, it hasn't happened for a few years, but I would assume it's going to happen this year. I know in Marlborough they're having their Crow Valley Country Jamboree, which was in the um, fairgrounds behind where we're living. But
Oh yeah.
it wasn't very loud. We found it wasn't. I'm not a big country fan or anything, but
No.
it didn't even seem like if somebody lived next door to you, sometimes they can crank up the music. It wouldn't
Mhm.
even seem that loud. Like there was times there, I know there was music being played, but you wouldn't hear it, or it
Wow.
was just very faint. Where this is jamboree, where you can hear it for miles.
Yeah.
You can hear it, yeah. So I don't know if we'll hear it from here, but we're 7 kilometers, we're probably 6 kilometers from the jamboree, so there's
Wow.
probably a good chance that
You'll
we may
probably.
hear it.
Yep. You might. You
Yeah.
just might. I know they're having that big. Well, they used to call it the Canada Fest out here in Grand Forks. It's now Canada Rock Fest, and
Hmm.
that's going again this year too for the first time in 2.5 years. I think 2 3 years. Yeah, or
Right.
whatever. They had it 2019, and then they didn't have it 2020 and 2021. So yeah, two
Right.
years. 'Cause that's a great big like if they've got RAPs playing and um, I'm not even sure some of the big bands. But the last year they had Gene Simmons and all the big like
Hmm.
Def Leppard and all that kind of like they all Motley Crue. They've all played that Canada Fest the first
Right.
years, but they've changed the name. It's not Canada Fest anymore.
New name.
And it wasn't even based on cannabis per se. They wouldn't even like they kind of came across because the guy that organized it was one of the big cannabis dispensary owners, right? And he was one Brian. The hell's his last name? I can't remember now. But he's the one that had all the vending machines when they first came out,
Oh, okay.
right? So he had all the
Yeah.
vending machines. So he's the one that
Yeah.
organized it, and it was Canada Fest with a big pot leaf and everything on it. And then there was a bit of backlash in Grand Forks. This is before Brian Taylor became mayor again, kind of shut
Right.
down the ability for them to use the downtown washrooms and showers. And it's kind of a shit show.
Right.
And then the
That's
second
too
year
bad.
wasn't sure, but he still didn't allow anybody to consume cannabis on the fairgrounds. And they didn't have a designated smoking area either. You weren't allowed to smoke.
How do
Period.
yeah, I know you gotta wonder how do you. Well, I guess you can have.
Well, you were
There's
anyway,
lots of events that do have there are cannabis events where you
but
can't smoke
I
cannabis.
think the second year he allowed some cannabis vendors, but I'm not positive.
Yeah.
I think they did allow some cannabis vendors the second year, but
Right.
yeah,
Right. So yeah, so here we are. We're here in the country, and we're gonna have a garden, outdoor garden, have a big garden. Get together with our daughter and her husband, and the grandkids are here too. So, we'll be able to help out. Grandpa, right next door, right?
yeah, that's kind of cool. It's something that those are memories that nobody
Yeah,
can take with your family, right?
yeah. And we're in the same house because it's a granny suite, but we are separated. We're not sharing the same space.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's nice. Well, that's
so it's
good that
nice, yeah. And then they've got a dog, and Chloe and Tessa get along fine. And they've got a cat who used to live with us at one time.
so it's
So
just kind
we
of like back to it's just like kind of this is retirement now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. So our house is for sale. We haven't sold it yet. It's up for sale. It actually goes live tomorrow, as far as the listing, and we'll see what happens. You know.
I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure it'll sell quickly. I mean, housing is such a huge issue for everybody, and I know that the cost and house rising and interest rates, and people are buying now because our interest rate might pop up to 3%. They're saying,
Yeah, they're more likely to go up again. Um, but I also look at, even though they're going up some, the percentage is still low when you look at how things are. Like,
"Oh, I
sure,
know
over COVID, it was down to that really low thing. But before COVID, percentages were up. They
my
weren't,
parents bought a
that
house in
quarter percent or
1981.
anything. What's
Yeah,
that?
yeah. My parents bought a house in 81 when the interest rates were 11%.
Well, yeah, there you go. Well, hopefully they don't go back to there. But
I
yeah, I can see them going up a little bit, and they It'll reduce it could be reduce the number of people who come and see because, budget wise, higher interest rates means higher mortgage payment, right? But they also check on all that stuff when people apply for mortgages, right? They got to
Oh,
be
yeah,
able to
yeah.
make sure that they can withstand those increases.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you have to basically, if you're looking for a house, you've already been pre-approved for the mortgage. Now you just got to go find the house. That's the first thing you do, is get
Yeah,
yourself pre-approved for a mortgage before you even go looking for a house,
yeah.
because like basically houses go move so fast. So if you're pre-approved, at least then if you see a house you like, you can put the offer in right there and know that it's just a matter of paperwork, right? But if you haven't got your mortgage approved and you go find something, chances are it could be gone by the time you go back.
Yeah. I know. Like when we bought the house that we're selling now, it was, and that's going back 4.5 years. So that was before the big spike,
Yeah.
and even then, it was like nobody was even looking at a house until your house is sold. Basically, is what it come down to. Because even though you can put an offer on a house that says, well, a condition
And
that
you
we
buy
sell
it,
our house,
yeah,
the houses were still selling fast
yeah,
at that point. And
yeah.
so, they're still selling. And we've got a 3-bedroom with a den, 2.5 bathrooms, and a heated garage.
Oh yeah, big heavy.
So those are things that, we got two important boxes checked. We got a big kitchen and we got a heated garage. So we got something for the wife and we got something for the husband.
Yeah.
Right?
Right?
So we've listed it. We're going to take offers and see what happens. We'll know by the end of the month whether it's sold or not.
Perfect. Well, that's great. Well,
Just a matter of
congratulations.
time.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
Tom. So how was your week? Now mine's been hectic running around trying to deal with all this stuff with the move. You started a new job.
Kind of. I don't
Kind of.
technically start till tomorrow, but I've
Okay.
been there. I've been there, kind of just kind of watching, but
Training,
kind of.
learning,
Yeah,
learning. Okay.
yeah, yeah. It has to do with work, BC, because I'm getting funding. So technically,
Right.
I don't get to start till tomorrow. But I've been there,
Tomorrow. Okay.
like kind of learning and just kind of hanging out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But also like working.
Well, yeah,
So
sometimes the
when you're
best
right? And when you're training, it's hands-on. So I'm not technically
hands-on. Yeah, I completely
paid for
agree.
the last week that I've been there, but I've been still going and, hanging out and, learning some stuff, right?
Right,
Technically
exactly.
technically, my first day is
That
tomorrow.
yeah, that way you're all ready for when you start your first day at the job,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So
So, technically, I, like, did start, like, a week, but technically I don't start till tomorrow,
right,
so
yeah. Well, hey, you went in a couple days early just to hang around and
your hand and learn some stuff.
observe and
Yeah.
stuff like
I mean,
that.
you need to learn the equipment and stuff, and I've never worked in a kitchen before. This is my first time ever, and I'm working in the kitchen. I'm a catering assistant and a cook, like, and I do front end too. Like, it's basically a small bakery, self-serve kind of place. So I'm doing everything. I'm doing front end. I'm doing prep. I'm doing catering, a little bit of everything
A
because
little bit of
that's
everything.
what it does, right? So I'm learning everything, and it's going to be beneficial for
Mm,
both of us. So I'm happy to do it, and like I said, she's the one that's been helping us do the pierogies and stuff, so I'd already spent
right,
a lot of time in her kitchen learning how she worked and stuff anyways, and she saw how I worked because of the pierogi,
right.
so it just seems to be a good fit, and she needs some staff, and, things are just picking up for her because it's wedding season and COVID's over, so she's
Oh yeah, wedding season. That's right.
right,
Spring.
and this weekend's the first big one, it's 140 people serving. And
Oh
then June the 12th, we're planning on a 500 plus serving for the park for hot pierogies and crepes. But
wow,
we've seen
that's a
how
big
many,
wedding.
well, 148 people, yeah. So
That's
we
still
like
100. That's still a
so
big
tomorrow
wedding.
I'm supposed to be going into yeah, it's a huge wedding as far as I'm concerned. 148
Yeah,
people, too big.
yeah, same here.
Right, that's like huge. But so tomorrow when I start, I've got to go in and start peeling potatoes. For mashed
Ah,
potatoes, because she needs 70 pounds of potatoes peeled. So that's my first job starting tomorrow morning is I get to go in and peel 70 pounds of potatoes.
70 pounds. So that sounds like a big bag.
Well, it's not that bad because I peeled 70 pounds for our pierogies for the first 100 dozen that we did the last time. When we
Right.
peeled
Uh,
potatoes, we peeled like
we
70 pounds.
had
We had lots, right? We had way more than what we needed. Let's put it
yeah,
that way.
we had friends that held a outdoor party every year, and they had bands and stuff that were there. And yeah, she would peel 60 pounds of potatoes just to make salad and stuff for the
Yeah,
guests that were coming to the party.
yeah. Oh yeah. Because like I said, we've got well, we've got 5 tons that have been or 2 tons that have been donated to us from the an
Two
anonymous
tons
2 tons. Yeah.
from who?
Well, all the people, the PEI farmers, right, couldn't send their potatoes over to the States because that worm, whatever disease from
Right.
Mexico, so the US wouldn't accept that one ship or huge shipment of potatoes. So it went to Food Bank Canada. And what Food Bank Canada did was then distribute it through all the food banks throughout the whole country. So all the food banks in Canada got like 10 tons or 50 tons of 200 tons of potatoes. I don't know, they all got
Wow.
tons of potatoes. So, Alan McBean, who's one of our volunteers, he also is a director on the food bank. So the
Oh,
food
okay.
bank donated all our potatoes for our
Nice.
for our produce. So we have 2 tons of potatoes. So we'll never have
Nice.
potatoes. But again, then we need flour and we need oil and we need
Sure.
eggs and cheese and garlic and
You
onions.
getting any donations for them?
We have an anonymous donor that's taking care of all of that.
Oh, awesome.
So our pierogies have zero overhead, and then they're all made by volunteers. So and
Oh,
then Barb's like donated her kitchen, her time, and her expertise. So those pierogies have never cost us anything. It's just straight up
it's just
profit.
all straight. It's just
So
all straight money that can go towards the
yep, and it all
families and stuff.
we have a little bit of a float in case we need like packaging like baggies and
Sure.
run some like
Yeah.
we've got little cards that go in them now that have the ingredients and stuff on them. So like if I have to run some of that stuff off at Staples or go buy ink for my printer, so we've got a bit of a float for that. And I can always keep that float at what it's supposed to be and then just tell the
It
society here are
sounds
the receipts. Like I used up this much money, here's the receipts, I've kept this much out of the pierogies, this is what's left. You know what I mean? Like so I can keep that float at always at what it's supposed to be. So if we ever run into needing anything, so say we need like to go get eggs, I've got money to go get eggs, right? And if I need to go and buy something, I can. But a lot of times I could just phone that anonymous donor and say, "Hey, I need 20 dozen eggs," and he would go get them. So
nice. Yeah,
yeah,
if you need them, it's good that you have that float there
right,
that you can do that, and the
right.
fact that you've got people who are helping out. It
Well,
sounds
the
like to
Ukrainian
me you've
people,
got maybe like 95% of your costs are covered by anonymous
99,
donations
it's
and
actually 100% of the cost is covered.
yeah.
There's no
I was thinking that, you're wrapping these little cards.
Ukrainian ladies are all coming to do it. The
The
Ukrainian
what?
ladies, the Ukrainian ladies are all coming to do it. All the
Oh,
people that come
really?
from the Ukraine and their families that brought them, those are the people that are coming to make the pierogies. So we're using their recipe. They're there when we make it. Same with the borscht. It's Lana and Helena that made the borscht, and they're both Ukrainian. And then when
Wha
we pinched them, even like Larissa is one of the moms that just came over here, and Valentina and Sasha and Anya, they're the ones
Huh?
that are those are the ones that are doing the work too, because then it's sweat equity. They don't like Ukrainians are so
Yeah.
proud. They do not
Yeah,
want to take a handout from anybody.
exactly. That
So they're like they feel like because they were brought over here by us that the least they can do is do this to help bring more people over so they can raise
yeah,
money to bring more people over. So
for
that's what they're
sure.
doing. They come and sit and we'll like between the four of us, what was it, me, Lana, Helena, and Larissa last week, we pounded out 130 dozen pierogies in 2 nights. We did
Oh.
like me and Barb did 31 dozen just in one night by ourselves. And
Now are you
then
just are you distributing them at still you're at a park or something at one time, weren't
no,
you?
they're sitting at Barb's business now because Barb owns the bakery and a
Right.
frozen chef, right? And she's frozen chef, so she also has frozen meals. So she's got freezers. So we just leave the pierogies in her freezer, and people want them now. They can just go to Barb's and get them. She's got a
Just get them.
donation button on her cash point of sale. So if anybody comes in and wants to use a bank card, we just put it under donation so that she knows what's going into the donation. So she knows it's not going into her regular
Right,
money. Have to keep
right.
track. Her machine keeps track of all that, and if they pay cash, she's got a jar to put the cash in for me, and if yeah, and that's how it's been rolling, and now that I'll be there, then I can just monitor and help, like, if anybody comes in wanting them, I'll just be the one
Right.
that takes care of it, right?
Yeah,
So
but weren't you at a park doing it at one time?
Yeah, we did. We had a big sale in the park. We showed up with pierogies and borscht. And what we did is we served hot borscht and buns and
Borscht.
for five
What's
bucks, and then we sold frozen pierogies for $10 a dozen. And it was a cookie jar kind of fundraiser, and we raised almost I think it was $5,500 in total.
oh, nice.
And
What's
then
borscht? What's
that was just
borscht?
for the park, yeah. And then we got pre-orders after that. We made another 300 dozen pierogies. So in
Hmm.
total, we raised about 1,100, and I think it was $1,123.59 or something.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. So what's borscht?
Borscht is a cabbage and beet soup. So it's
Cabbage
Ukraine.
and beets. Cabbage and beets. Hey,
Yeah,
Garfield.
and then yeah, so depending whether it's Russian, Polish, or Ukrainian. So Ukrainians use pork or a chicken face. So they'll like it's like they'll boil it up for a really long time or simmer it for a really long time, shred the meat off the bone, and usually a pork hock, and then they add onions and garlic and celery and carrots and cabbage and beets, and then they let it simmer away, and that's borscht. And some people put cream in it, and some people don't, and a lot of dill, and it's a really yummy soup. I can actually eat it without the cream.
Oh, really, eh?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's really good.
Is it? But
I
does
love it.
it? I guess if it doesn't affect your colitis.
Right? None of it does. And then a lot, and then like the other kinds, you can also make it without any meat either. So you use a vegetable base, and then it's
Okay.
just vegetables, and then there's no meat in it at all. And that's more the Russian borscht has got no meat, and the Ukrainian borscht does. Because
Oh, okay.
Ukraine is actually, if you go back to the imperial czar times of the Imperial Russian Soviet Union,
Yeah.
Ukraine was actually Kiev was the capital of Russia. Ukraine is the jewel of Russia. And when the Ukraine decided that it was going to be independent, that really pissed them off.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's pissed off Gorbachev, it pissed off what's his name, Yeltsin, and then Yeltsin, of course, resigned, and then we ended up with Putin, right? And
Right.
Putin has been pissed off about the Ukraine wanting, again with the Donbass, Crimea. He took Crimea first, and he's wanted the Ukraine back for 2 decades. This is not a new war. This is something that
No, that's right. That's
he's been
right.
trying to do for decades. So, but in reality, at one point in time, Ukraine was part of this, not of Russia,
Mm.
because it was the U.S. It was the empire of Russia. So that was before that was the Tsar time. So it was the empire of Russia, right? And that's when Russia was all of that. Ukraine was part of it, and then it went to the USSR, Soviet Union. Now it's Russia, and so when Ukraine became independent, of course, then Moscow became the capital of Russia.
Yeah.
Kiev is now not Kiev because that's what it was under Russian. It's called Kiev now, and those Ukrainians got their freedom and independence in 1992. And then since
Mhm.
2014, he's tried taking back Crimea, Donbass, and what he did was he moved in Russian militia and militants, and
Yeah.
there was Russian separatists and Russian back, and so they were Russian loyalists, right? They
Right.
didn't ever
Yeah.
be part of Ukraine. They were a small sector like Quebec, to be fair. You know what I mean? Like to be
Well,
fair,
I
Quebec,
know, I know, I know what you're saying, but yeah, okay.
right?
They
So
were,
one
yeah,
province in a country decided they
they,
wanted to
yeah,
be independent,
th-
right?
yeah, they
So
wanted to
they
go back to
so
Russia. Yeah.
Russia then sent in military to help them take over Donbass and Crimea, which they've done. Now they've got
Mhm.
Mariupol. They've just taken the last 250 soldiers out of Mariupol, put them in
Yeah.
Russian POW camps, and they've got the whole south
Yeah.
end of Ukraine.
Well, hey, I think you guys are doing a fantastic job with your progi program going on there,
We got
and
pierogi programs. We got schmozzy dinners that are being put on June the 8th. It's a Frank Sandor memorial because Frank Sandor used to own
yeah.
Sandor Rentals, and he passed away, and he was a Hungarian immigrant. And there's a $150, 150 seat dinner going on.
Hmm. Nice, nice. 150 seats. Well, I see.
$150.
I see it. I see it's the bottom of the hour. We didn't know how long we talked for, but I'm gonna run a commercial, and then when we come back, I've got a question for you about
Okay.
Ukraine and cannabis. All right. All right. Tamara and I will be back and continue our talk between the two of us shortly. This is the Pace Radio Show. We are live here on the Pace Radio Network. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
Let's share Pace everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Pace Radio is the People Advocating Cannabis Education Radio Network.
CP operates a medicinal cannabis signing clinic. If you want to grow your own medicinal cannabis and are located anywhere in Canada, then I'd like to suggest that you give them a call. They can be reached at 1-613-967-9888. That's 1-613-967-9888, and grow on with CP.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net. Hey, welcome back to the Pace Radio Show. We're being broadcasted live here on the network's YouTube channel as well as on Facebook, and we're podcasted afterwards at paceradio.net. Well, Tamara, it's just you and me. We're sitting here shooting the shit, as they say, talking about pierogies, new jobs, and moving. Plus, we got a few other things in the list of things that we can discuss.
Yeah, and I'm kind of ticked off with Facebook because they got me on a 6-day group ban. I can't post on groups because I posted about my pain in my shoulder today, and I wanted to cut my shoulder off. So apparently that's violating community standards, and I got banned off my groups. That was on my personal page. It's how I feel. My shoulder is giving me shit, and I want to cut it off.
So they thought that you're actually going to cut your shoulder off.
But it's not on my groups. Like, this is like, why can't I post in my groups? Like, what does that have to do with my groups? And it's my personal page, and I want to cut my fucking shoulder off. It hurts. Like, how ridiculous!
I know. Hey, you know, on my Instagram, I go on my Instagram account for the Pace Radio Show, and it said, "How old are you? When was your birth date?" He wants to know my birth date for Instagram. So I put the date of the show in. You know, it was October of 2013. So it says, are you this is your birthday? And I said, yeah, right, because it's the show's birthday. And they said, "Oh, sorry, you're banned. You're under the age of 13. We don't allow people under the age of 13
Right?
on Instagram."
Don't.
Oh yeah, I'm like, what the
Oh, no.
fuck? So then I went on again the next day and asked me my birth date again, and I gave it another birth date, but made sure I was older than 13, and I got on the account. Yeah, it's open right now. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at St. Fatty's Day's photos on Instagram.
I don't understand how they can just,
Yeah,
like I said, it's so stupid. I deleted my Twitter account. As soon as I heard that Elon Musk was having anything to do with Twitter, I deleted it. I deactivated it. I don't care. I know that I'm a nobody. I know that he doesn't give a crap whether I deactivated my Twitter account or not,
mhm.
but I did. I just, like, I thought, you know what? I'm not participating in anything having to do with that guy. And like I said, I know, I mean, it means nothing to him or anybody else, but it means something to me. I'm just not participating.
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it. And
Uh,
not like, why make that guy any richer than he already is?
It
And
already is. Well, yeah,
them make
he's having some problems. I see there's some problems over even that sale going on. So
well, exactly, but like the way I look at it is, if you're on Twitter, he's making money off you. So why make the guy any more money than he's already got?
well, he doesn't own it yet, but still, I know where you're coming from. He's got lots of money. 43. There's a lot of people that could be fed, housed.
He said he'd feed the world if the world could, world unit or whatever society could give him, reasons to make it sustainable. And you can't just throw money at world hunger. It's got to be
Yeah.
farming. It's got to be
Oh,
sustainable. It's
yeah, it's gotta be, yeah, because money
got to
runs
be,
out.
you got to
Money
talk
runs
about
out.
greenhouses, and we're talking about like making deserts into like
Mhm.
farmland. Like it takes more than $600 billion, Musk. Like it's $600 billion a year, maybe.
Yeah,
And
money.
like,
It's money, money, money.
right? But
Yeah.
again, you just can't throw money at world hunger. It's got to be a
Yeah.
sustainable project that's forever. It just doesn't stop like $6 billion.
Self-sufficient. Help people be self-sufficient. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
kind of like
see
a
what
bill.
else we got. What else we got on the list here? One advantage of moving here is my daughter's going through to be a nurse,
Nice, good for her.
and here I am, sick with my Crohn's, and as I age, could be times where the help's going to be needed. So
Yeah. Well, it's always good. Healthcare is something that's a sustainable thing that we definitely need. I think the
mhm.
worst mistake that we have made as well as conservatives did this, it wasn't the liberal government, was make it so that foreigner immigrants cannot come over with their credentials and work. You know what I mean? Like if you're a nurse in India, or if you're a nurse in South Africa, or if you're a nurse in England, you should be able to be a nurse when you get to Canada. It shouldn't be a matter of having to be taking re-credentials so you can take money from them, because that's all it is a goddamn cash cow.
Yeah. I haven't got a problem with someone proving that they've got some credentials, but I don't know the total process. But I know that at times you hear about people who are educated as doctors are driving a taxi.
Exactly. I worked
Yeah,
with a doctor.
if you can provide some credentials, all that stuff,
They would have the
maybe
credentials.
do some type of test here, and then move them onto the system.
Well, the thing is, like, why should they even have to bother with a test? If they've got their doctor, degree from
Mm,
Oxford University, we have doctors that go to Canada, that go overseas to take courses and still come back. And yes, they have to go through the College of Physicians licensing. Everybody
yeah.
should have to do that in each province, even if a
Well,
doctor
that's
lives.
what I'm sort of that's what I'm looking at. You go through, make sure you can
So you're
produce your
licensed.
paperwork. Yeah,
So you got
yeah.
your credentials from like whatever, medical school in India or wherever. Why should they have to go and take a whole bunch of more different courses here and pay a bunch of money just to get their licensing?
I could see some differences
If
between
they can write the test for their
programs, but yeah.
English is acceptable, because I know that even with Zachary, because he's come from Ukraine, he doesn't
Mm,
speak any English. He's 17, so we've got him in an English course at the College of the Rockies. And he cannot
good.
take any other course at the College of the Rockies until he has got a certain grade point level of English understanding and written and verbal skill. And that's the way it is at every university, even when you're coming in
Hmm.
as a foreign student, because there's domestic and there's international tuition. at every
Yeah.
university in our country as well, because they bring in international students. But those international students have to meet standard even before they get to Canada at an English grade point level before they can even apply to come to a university in Canada.
Oh yeah.
They come over here to
Yeah.
Canada, take their credentials, and then go back to their countries and work over there, and then come back here and can't work. Yet they did their education in Canada too.
Oh yeah. That seems twisted, doesn't it?
Twisted, right? But this is how politics and bureaucratic bullshit
um,
used to work in our systems.
paperwork.
Systems that we've got, that we've built, aren't saying
Mm.
aren't bad. Checks and balances, yes, but some of it's just too much.
Over the top.
Overextended because one bad apple or six bad apples, they've just made it
Yeah,
so.
I know. It's always that. That's just like us with the cannabis end of things.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
takes, whether it's snowmobilers, ATVers, or cannabis advocates, there's always something
yeah.
in there that can, can be troublemaking or
Unlike
whatever.
helmets,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
seatbelts and all these things,
Oh,
because people speed and they get into accidents and then they die because they weren't wearing seatbelts.
yeah.
So then
Yeah.
seatbelts came into effect because of motor vehicle accidents. Because of why? Because people were speeding. Because they
People were
couldn't even
speeding or,
stay on the
yeah.
stay on the right side
It's
of
a
the 60
cumulative, yeah. Sometimes those things are put in place after a period of time of cumulative effect.
because of the
Now,
fact that people didn't follow rules. And it goes, we need less government, and we should be able to police ourselves.
mm.
You all have proven that you can't police yourselves. Why didn't have that now?
Okay, talking about policing yourself. It's, as you know, it's May. The May long weekend is coming up.
It is.
The weather's been, I don't know about you, but I can tell you here, the weather's
Crap.
been fantastic. It's been hot. I got sunburnt, even though I wasn't out in the sun.
Yeah, you guys have been having a heat wave down there. I got
Oh,
pictures of them on the beach, and I'm looking outside going, "Are you kidding me? Like you're kidding me, right? Like
no, we were getting 30-degree temperatures here.
right,
Nighttime temperatures in the 20s.
right." I know.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it drops down and we got frost warnings and, single digits highs and everything. So when it comes to May, it's so hard. Like, you get the really nice weather and then you get some really shitty weather and you think, well, geez, this really nice weather. I'm going to put my plants in the ground.
Yeah, right. And then you do, and then what happens?
It
Oh,
fucking
Mr.
snows.
Right?
Snows.
Right? It's like last year, like all my strawberries were coming up. It was real nice, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Frost was going to come, so they're throwing sheets over my goddamn strawberries. And I mean, they're
Yeah.
not, and they're on the ground. Like I can't stop them from coming. Right? It's not like I got
No.
the buckets. Yeah, but yeah, but May long weekend is usually people go and get their gardens in, put their cannabis gardens out. Everybody get and
Yeah, like I know I've told a lot of people wait till 1st of June. Like I know I've seen frost on that long weekend. I've been in a tent and looked out in the morning and everything is white.
yeah,
Tents and the
yeah.
ground and everything. Yeah.
Been there too. That's why I don't make any plans for the May long weekend. I might have a fire in my backyard, but then I know that I've got a warm bed and a bathroom. I got a fire pit.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can pretend I'm camping May long. Sure. Just sit
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, that's right. Well, I set up the tiny cottage. I could go camping as well.
right? Exactly.
Yeah, and I can let the furnace go on in it too.
Right? Well, when we lived on the farm too, it was like, why would we go camping? Like we're in the middle of nowhere. We've got 4,000 million acres around us. The closest neighbor is 7 kilometers that way. And then like, why would we got a fire
Well,
pit here? Like,
I don't know. Maybe it's different. It's sleeping out in the woods.
we had a
It's
trailer. We'd sleep in the trailer out in the yard.
yeah, I know.
We were camping on.
Well,
But
I
well,
know. Hey, 45 years ago, I enjoyed sleeping on the cot outside underneath the stars
yeah, I
in the
do.
backyard.
Now you can get me in a tent if you paid me $1 million. If I'm going camping, I'm going glamping. I'm going in an RV. I'm gonna go. There's better be a fireplace, a deep tub, and a full kitchen.
I know. When we went out camping last year with our son and his partner, they'd sleep. They actually moved up. They went from they increased their comforts by adding that 1/2 inch mat underneath their bodies when they sleep, because they never just slept on the ground.
Yeah. We always, as kids, we did. We just throw our sleeping bags down. Now it's
Just,
like,
yeah,
I think I went
yeah, not
camping.
now. I'd hate to try that.
Well, I think the last time I went camping in a tent was probably 5 years ago. We went up Moye.
Yeah,
He lived with me, and we went up there and we slept on tents, but we still had foamies like underneath, right? But of course, it had to rain and the wind, and half the tent was soaked in the morning. I was like, I remember why I don't sleep in a tent.
yeah, exactly. I understand.
Yeah,
I did for years. That was what we did. We
I
would
know.
we would drive in off the highway for like 10 miles on a forest access road, and then
Yeah,
we'd load up the canoe and we'd canoe paddle across the lake to the campsite 10 times just so we could unload everything for the weekend. Oh,
yeah.
and then you'd come underneath the hydro line and the wind pick up and it would blow you back across the lake where you started from, and oh,
Well, it was like
it was just
my friend has a hunting camp up the Bow River here, right? And we went up there to stay in those cabins, but they had
yeah,
this like bridge that goes across the river, the Bow River. And when I first went up there, I'm like, I ain't going across that fucking bridge. And here's, Mindy and my and Taven like across it. I'm like, well, I have to go after my kid, right?
that's
And if I
right.
like there by myself, I would have never went across that cable bridge. There would be no way because that river was just. And
Going
I was like,
fast.
go across, I'd look up and like hang on to the rails and just all the way across, so I didn't have to look down. It just scared the crap right out of me. That's probably a lot. But we didn't sleep in tents, and we had cabins, and the cabins
Yeah.
had wood burning stoves.
Yeah, it's I've always enjoyed camping. It's always been a good time. It you'd start the fire at 3 o'clock in the afternoon so that the coals and everything, the fire and everything for cooking was
Yeah,
in good shape,
yeah,
and then everybody would get around, get together, and uh, have supper. Cook a big meal together.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
those were the days when I used to drink, and I'd take a 2-4 for the weekend.
Yeah, of course, right? Of course, there was never camping. You had to have a 2-4 and a couple, 26ers, and make sure you had a whole cooler of ice.
Yeah, exactly, and I'd have a jar of oil or something.
We were always near the creek. We'd throw the beer right in the creek, so it was cold like all the time, right? Always get
Right.
yeah. I
Yeah,
remember those.
well, yeah, we had a spot where we called it our cooler zone. We had it dug in the ground. We had
Yeah,
stuff to cover it all up, and the coolers would sit down in there and stay nice and cold.
absolutely.
Um, so it was usually a good time.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something here on my phone. I got a message today. Actually, I had a discussion today with our friend Dr. Buck.
Oh, nice.
Yes, he's sent me some test results. He's making some salves and lotions.
He was saying that on the last show that he was on.
Yeah, correct. And he's gone and taken them down to Legacy 420
Oh,
and had
nice.
them tested. So today he sent me the certificate of analysis of this salve that he's got. He's got a CBD salve. Yeah, CBD salve. It's got some THC and some CBD in it. What else has it got in it? Oh, it shows CBG, CBDA. There's the A's, V's, CBN, Delta. CBC is in there as well. Let's see. Yeah. I'm just trying to get the numbers here. Total cannabinoids, 6.8 total cannabinoids in it. It's got 4 milligrams. Yeah, 4 milligrams of CBD. Hang on, that's per gram. But the package itself is 117.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So it's almost like a 1 to 125.
Shut up, really?
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking
My
earlier.
message going Jason Kenny's out.
Huh?
Jason
What?
Kenny. Jason Kenny's out. I just got a message.
Oh.
Across my thing goes, Jason Kenny's out. What?
I know what that's all about. So he's no longer part of the UPC then.
He's no longer Premier of Alberta.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Okay. On his salve there. 4.13. Yeah, CBD salve. 4.13 in the CBD. And this one here has got 0.43 THC.
Wow.
So he's got one that is heavier on, it's got a lot much more than CBD than THC, and then the other one is like a 1 to 1.25. It's got some new packaging, and the other thing he's got, just so I should let you know, that's why I come into this part of it all, is today when he phoned me and we had a discussion, he is sending some of this product our way so that we can give it away here on the show, on the network.
Nice.
Give it away for free. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks, Dr. Buck.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. And it's all, as you know, it's all tested. Anybody can scan the QCR code, however you pronounce that, whatever. What is it?
QR code.
Okay, QR code. You can scan that and get the test results.
Beautiful.
So, you know, if you want to know what it's about, just get your phone, and there you go. You got your actual test results all done.
We've got those on our business cards for the shelter for the Ukraine too, see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then, yeah, he's... so it costs him about, $250.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Tested, and then driving back and forth. So he's probably, depends on what vehicle you take, $350 into testing his product to make sure that it's got what it says. Because I had a perfect example there a week and a half ago. I ate 500 milligrams of THC in some chips and didn't feel a thing, and ate 400 milligrams of THC in 2 chocolates in Tamara. I haven't been that fucking stoned in fucking 20 years.
You're kidding.
I'm serious. I went, holy yeah. So, talking about consistency across the board, that's what's good about getting it tested, right?
That's the reason why we did regulated cannabis, because you've got, I know the legal system's not great and the milligrams are really low, but in hindsight, if you didn't, right? And you know what? I'm going to have to get off of here now because I got somebody showing up to buy pierogies.
Okay, you go deal with the pierogies. It's the top of the hour anyways. I'll run a commercial and then I will run the closing. But so I don't know if that person's product was tested, but I was fucked. All right, talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, Tamara's on her way. She's gonna go deal with some stuff.
I gotta turn you off.
She's leaving. She's gone now. I'm gonna run the commercial break and then go to the closing. So thanks for tuning in. We just had a quick show tonight, and thanks to our sponsors, BMA Hydroponics, as well as drbuckcts.com, legacy420.com, and the Camel for Lifestyle Shop. We'll see you all next week, and don't forget Reefer Reporters tomorrow morning with myself, as well as Kelly. Reverend Kelly is going to be filling in for Glenn as he's traveling across Ontario and Quebec right now, as he's come to Peterborough, just west of me here, and he's picking up his new motorcycle. So Kelly is filling in for him tomorrow. So we'll see you all then. Bye-bye. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
A doctor's job is to relieve your pains. And when it comes to growing cannabis, the biggest pain is trimming. Let Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions take the pain away. Whether you're a home grower or a commercial operation, we have the cure. From 4 plants to 400 plants, garden size doesn't matter. Dr. Buck Cannabis Trimming Solutions comes to you with years of experience and professional discreet service. It's simple. We trim your weed and we do a damn good job. Visit drbuckcts.com to book your trimming.
Pace Radio Network. By patients, for patients, and for those who want to know.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
Did you know that the Pace Radio Network isn't just a radio network? That's right, because most, but not all of our programming is now done via video and is then podcasted at paceradio.net. So if you want to watch, yes, watch our programming, you'll find us on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, plus the show's own page, and you'll find us live on the network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can find it all, video and audio, at paceradio.net.
BMA Hydroponics has everything you need to succeed. Visit our hydroponics superstore at 404 Maitland Drive in Belleville and we'll show you how to grow your own quality cannabis for pennies per gram. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 613-967-9888. BMA Hydroponics. It's worth the drive. The only way to go.
Hi folks, Scott from stfattiesday.com here, and we're absolutely stoked to tell you about our brand new program called Pass the Peace Pipe and our partnership with Legacy 420 out of Tyne-Niagara. We are absolutely proud to be partners with these people. They are an amazing group that have helped so many people with their amazing cannabis medicinal products. And we are working together to gather funds to build the first ever Indigenous specific opioid addiction center here in the Bay of Quinte area on Tyne-Niagara land. So we need your help. We need you to repost this video and go to our GoFundMe campaign, because on this October 17th, St. Fatty's Day, we are going to be starting the campaign where we pass the peace pipe from one side of the country to another to unite our country, to gather awareness, but most importantly funds to build opioid addiction centers across the nation, one build at a time.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.